So this is our Mercedes-Benz EQC 400, and we've been driving this for about the last 5 to 6 months, and also not driving it during lockdown. But before we return it, we just thought we'd have a quick look around and show you a couple of highlights, because this is obviously the 2020 New Zealand car of the year, but it has left a special impression with us. And also the fact of what it's been like to drive an electric car and live with it for 5 or 6 months. The raw numbers are 300 kilowatts and 760 newton meters, and with all drive, this thing gets to 100 k's an hour in just 4.8 seconds. There's a gorgeous interior and an M-Bux system, which is Mercedes-Benz user experience. Gives you plenty of options with the M-Bux. You can play with the touchpad, which moves it back and forth. You can actually use the touch screen if you prefer, or you can use these little thumb pads up here, which also change things around. There's just so much to view and control, from navigation to media to your phone to the EQ settings, which monitors the battery state and charge, and with the navigation can find your nearest charging station. But one of our favourites is the comfort setting, where you can actually choose the colour of the lighting. And this, of course, looks best at night time. Drive modes are easily chosen between Sport, Comfort and Eco or Individual, but one thing we weren't that fussed about was the black piano finish that showed a lot of dust and light scratches, even if cleaning it with a microfiber cloth. And the reflections, of course. The big boot's 500 litres in capacity, which is only 50 litres down on the GLC, but of course underneath the floor it has storage to take all the electric charging gear too. But that interior is just a beautiful cabin, front or rear seats, with just lots of detailing here and there, including the air vents, which are designed to look like computer components. And what about range anxiety after living with an EV for 6 months? Well, with range up to 417 and as low as about 330, wasn't really a problem with plenty of fast chargers around. Though turning on or off the air conditioning does lose or gain about 10% of range. And the EQC will take up to 110 kilowatts charging rate, perfect for DC fast chargers. And to add another level to it, I can actually check the status of the car through the Mercedes Me app. That is our car, and if I check charge status, as you can see, we are currently charging at 5.8 kilowatts. It does fluctuate at 7:30 in the evening, so it fluctuates depending on what the house electricity is using. It was up to 7 kilowatts a moment ago. And we're due to charge at 100% at 10:20 a.m. tomorrow. Now, if I actually change that down to 80%, which is what I normally do, it'll actually take about 3 hours off that charging prediction. It does take a moment to send to the car and get a return. The ETA does take a minute or two to change, but you can see it's 80%. We get about 315 k's out of the 80% charge, and it will take about 3 hours off that charge, which is very handy indeed. We even ran it right down to 1% one time and seeing Mr. Turtle appear, but the beautiful part is it directed us to local charging stations with plenty of warnings and alerts about it, so that wasn't really a problem. Our only real glitch was actually just wondering whether the car was actually running or not at some times. So this is the engine running, and that's not running. It was easy enough to eventually learn, but that's our 6 months with the Mercedes-Benz EQC 400 4MATIC, certainly one of our favourite cars of the year too.